Ethan had lived on Arethus for 3 years, but the quiet life never felt completely normal. He spent most days repairing satellites, maintaining old machines, and avoiding unnecessary attention. After the wars against the Valorians ended, life had seemed peaceful, almost boring. Yet sometimes when he worked alone in the satellite field, he felt a pull in his mind. Visions of a soft voice, silver eyes, and strange marks on his arms he didn't understand. He always shook them off, convincing himself it was fatigue or imagination. He remembered the war, the blood, the chaos, and the duty of a medic. But there were gaps, places in his memory that felt like erased pages. He tried not to think about them, though sometimes in quiet moments he saw glimpses of a woman in his mind, wounded, proud, and terrified at the same time. He couldn't explain why. One afternoon, the colony's communication network flickered. Ethan was repairing the antenna when a sleek alien ship descended from the sky. It wasn't a warship. Its design was elegant, almost regal, with curved lines of silver and violet light. The people in the streets stopped and stared, murmuring among themselves. A royal envoy disembarked, followed by someone on mechanical supports. She moved slowly but with poise, her shimmering fabric catching the sunlight. She raised her head and Ethan froze. Her eyes were silver, piercing, and familiar. The markings on her arms glowed faintly, soft blue lines that pulsed with every heartbeat. She looked directly at him. "Do you remember me?" she said, her voice trembling but firm. "I'm the disabled alien princess you had mate with." The colony fell silent. People stepped back, unsure of what was happening. Ethan felt the blood drain from his face. His throat tightened. The words meant nothing to his conscious memory, yet they sparked something deep inside, a feeling of recognition, warmth, and fear. "Leraya," he whispered. She nodded slowly, a faint smile on her lips. "It's me. I found you once, and now I need you again." The memories came in fragments, images of smoke-filled corridors, crumbling walls, and the soft sound of her voice in his ear. He remembered carrying someone fragile but defiant through the chaos, hiding her from soldiers and fire. He remembered her fighting him, refusing to accept help yet letting him tend to her wounds. He remembered nights in a crashed medical ship, talking in broken words, learning each other's language, learning each other's souls. And he remembered a strange, glowing ritual she performed, something he didn't understand but had left a mark on both her and him. The colony leader approached Ethan, hesitating. "Sir, is this safe?" Ethan didn't answer. His eyes never left her. Leraya's cybernetic limbs shone in the sunlight, elegant and precise. Despite her enhancements, there was vulnerability in her stance. He took a cautious step forward. "Why are you here?" he asked. She inhaled, glancing at the colony behind him. "I've come because the bond we shared is alive. I need you. The ritual we performed, it's awakening. If we don't act, I might not survive." Ethan's mind reeled. He wanted to ask questions, to demand explanations, but the pull was stronger than curiosity. The marks on his arms had started to glow faintly, echoing the ones on her skin. A strange warmth spread through his chest, and he realized it wasn't just memory. It was a living connection. He remembered the night she performed the ritual. She'd been afraid, trembling on the floor of the medical ship. He had tried to comfort her, but she insisted. Her hands glowed faintly, and she placed them over his heart. "This bond," she had whispered, "will keep us alive, even if the universe separates us." At the time it had felt symbolic, but now he understood it had been much more than that. The colony murmured around them, but Ethan and Leraya existed in a bubble of shared history. He could feel her heartbeat, her pain, her hope, as though it were his own. Every flicker of her eyes resonated with him. Every small movement she made sent ripples through his chest. I don't understand," he said, his voice shaking. "Why now? Why here?" Her silver eyes softened. "Because my body is failing, Ethan. My cybernetics cannot sustain me any longer. The healers of my people cannot fix me. Only you, only the one whose life I once touched, can stabilize me." Ethan's stomach dropped. "You mean, me? How?" "The ritual we performed. The one you do not remember fully, it was not symbolic. It linked our life forces. Your DNA, your essence. It is the key to saving me. But we must awaken it fully." She hesitated, glancing at him. "It is dangerous. It could hurt you." He clenched his fists. He remembered the fear in her eyes all those years ago, the desperation, the trust. He remembered carrying her when everything else was chaos. And now she was asking him to risk his life to save her. His chest ached with an old, unshakable feeling, something he couldn't name yet had always belonged to her. I'll help you, he said finally. His voice was firm despite the uncertainty and fear. We survived before. We can survive now. A faint smile broke across her face. Relief, gratitude, and something deeper shimmered in her eyes. She stepped closer, careful on her mechanical supports. As she moved, the marks on his arms glowed brighter. He reached out instinctively, touching her hand. Heat spread through his fingers, climbing his arm and chest. You feel it? She asked, eyes wide. Yes, he whispered. I feel you. For a long moment, they simply stared at each other. Words were not enough. Time had not erased the bond, it had only hidden it, dormant, waiting for her to return. Night fell over Erithus, and the colony quieted. Ethan led Lyrea to a private observation deck away from curious eyes. The stars stretched across the sky, familiar and distant. Lyraya's cybernetic enhancements hummed softly as she leaned against the railing, gazing at the stars with an almost childlike wonder. I never forgot you, she said softly, though her voice carried through the cool night air, even when I thought you were gone. I felt you, Ethan swallowed hard. I never knew why sometimes I'd remember flashes. But now, he traced the glowing marks on his arm. Now I understand. You're alive, and somehow, I feel it too. She nodded, a tremor in her hand as she reached for his. It's more than memory. It's life, and it's waking. The observatory was silent except for their breathing and the faint hum of her cybernetics. The stars reflected in her eyes, and Ethan felt a pull stronger than gravity. The bond wasn't just about saving her. It was about something eternal, something beyond human understanding. Ethan, she whispered, leaning closer, I need you to trust me. Whatever happens next, it's our only chance, he nodded, his heart pounding. He didn't understand everything, but he trusted her. He had always trusted her. He felt the pulse of life between them, the glow beneath his skin and the warmth of her presence. This was not a request. This was destiny. The night deepened and the colony slept, unaware of the reunion taking place. Two souls separated by war, distance, and time were coming together again. The bond between human and Valorian had awoken, and with it something powerful, dangerous, and beautiful. Ethan looked into her eyes, seeing not just a princess or a survivor, but a being who had changed him in ways he could never explain. He reached out, holding her hand with certainty. I'll help you, he said again, stronger this time. No matter what it takes. Lyraya's eyes glimmered, tears threatening to fall. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you for remembering, even if you didn't know it yet. And under the quiet stars of Erithus, the marks on their arms glowed brighter, as if the universe itself had noticed their reunion. Something ancient and powerful was stirring, and neither of them fully understood what it would mean, but they would face it together, as they always were meant to. For the first time in years, Ethan felt a clarity he hadn't known existed. Something vital had returned. Not just memory, but connection, trust, and a spark that refused to die. The night was still, but the world had changed forever. And somewhere deep in his chest, he felt the pulse of her life echoing with his own, a rhythm that promised danger, hope, and the possibility of a future neither had dared to dream of. The night on Erithus was quiet, but the air in the observatory felt heavy with anticipation. Ethan and Lyrea stood side by side, hands barely touching, feeling the hum of their connection beneath their skin. The marks on their arms glowed softly, pulsing like a heartbeat. Neither spoke for a long while, as if words might break the fragile thread that linked them. Finally, Lyrea broke the silence. Ethan, you need to know everything. The ritual we shared years ago, it was not just a tradition. It was a bond meant to connect two beings, human and Valorian. Life, thoughts, even strength can be shared through it. For years I thought it was gone, but now it is waking. Ethan looked at her, trying to process the weight of her words. You mean, my body, my life is somehow connected to yours? She nodded, her silver eyes bright with urgency. Yes, and my body? My cybernetics, they cannot sustain me anymore. Only your life force can stabilize me. But the process is dangerous. It could take everything from you. Ethan's chest tightened. He remembered her lying in his arms years ago, refusing to die alone. She had trusted him then, even when everything around them was chaos. Now she was asking him to trust her. to risk his life for hers, and somehow he knew he could not refuse. "I'll do it," he said, voice firm. "Whatever it takes." Lyraya's lips curved in a small, relieved smile. "Then we begin. But you must stay calm and you must let the connection grow naturally. Don't fight it." She guided him to the center of the observatory, where the faint light of the stars above streamed through the tall glass windows. The glow from the marks on their arms intensified as they faced each other, hands hovering close but not touching yet. Ethan could feel a strange warmth radiating from her, spreading into him, stirring memories and emotions he hadn't understood for years. "You might feel things you cannot explain," she said softly. "Your body, your mind, they will sense mine. It might feel strange or painful at first. Trust it. Trust me." Ethan nodded, swallowing hard. The warmth in his chest spread further, and a faint pressure behind his eyes made him blink rapidly. Suddenly, he could see faint lines of light connecting them, like glowing threads running through the air, linking their hearts and minds. His thoughts brushed against hers, and he felt a flood of emotion: fear, hope, love, and desperation. Lyraya reached out, placing her hand over his chest, right above his heart. The moment her fingers touched, a surge of energy shot through him. He gasped, feeling warmth flood his veins, mingling with something deeper, something he had never felt before. The glow of the marks spread from their arms across their bodies, brightening until it bathed them both in a soft blue light. "Do you feel it?" she asked, her voice trembling with emotion. "Yes," Ethan whispered. I feel everything." "Good," she said. "Now let the bond grow. Do not resist." He closed his eyes, focusing on the rhythm of her pulse. He felt her fear, her pain, her longing to survive. It was overwhelming, but he did not step back. He could also feel her memories, faint flashes of her life as a princess, the wars she had endured, the times she had hidden from danger. Every beat of her heart resonated in his chest. Minutes passed, or maybe hours. Time seemed meaningless. The energy between them built, and Ethan realized that he could feel her body healing slightly, as if his own life force was flowing into her. The mechanical support she had relied on for mobility hummed and glowed, and for a moment, she moved unaided, trembling, barely keeping her balance. I can stand," she whispered, astonished. "Your life? It's helping me." Ethan opened his eyes and saw her face illuminated by the glow. She looked vulnerable and powerful at the same time. "You're not just alive because of me," he said softly. "I feel something else too. I feel connected to you." Her eyes filled with tears. "The bond, it's mutual. You feel me as I feel you." She hesitated, then added, "But it is risky. We cannot stop now, or it could fail." Ethan took a deep breath, tightening his grip on her hand. "Then we don't stop. I trust you. I trust us." A strange energy wrapped around them like a gentle storm. The glow from their arms spread outward, illuminating the observatory in soft blue light. Ethan could hear faint whispers in his mind, memories and emotions from Lyraya's past, but he welcomed them. He could sense her pain, the years of struggle, the moments she thought she would die alone. And he could sense her gratitude, her trust, and a deep love that had grown silently between them. Suddenly the glow intensified. Ethan felt a burning sensation in his chest, like his heart was trying to expand beyond its limits. He gritted his teeth but did not pull away. He could see her trembling, her eyes wide with fear and hope. "You're doing well," she whispered. "Just a little longer." He nodded, focusing on the warmth, the connection, the life force flowing between them. With each passing second, he could feel her body stabilizing, her cybernetics slowing their decline, her heartbeat growing stronger. But the effort was taking its toll on him. His vision blurred and his strength wavered. "Ethan?" Lyraya's voice sounded distant, though he could feel the concern in her mind. "You're fading." "Hold on, I'm here," he gasped, struggling to keep his consciousness tethered to the connection. "Keep going. Don't stop." The bond pulsed brighter, a powerful energy of life, hope, and connection. Ethan's body shook, but he could feel Lyraya stabilizing, her strength returning. The cybernetic supports melted away completely, leaving her to stand on her own legs for the first time in years. She looked at him in awe, tears streaming down her cheeks. You did it," she whispered. "I can stand. I'm alive because of you." Ethan smiled weakly, feeling the exhaustion pressing against him. We did it together." The light around them began to dim, settling into a gentle glow. Lyraya's breathing was steady, her pulse strong and rhythmic, She looked at him with gratitude and something deeper, a spark of emotion that spoke of love, trust, and destiny. Ethan felt the bond beginning to settle into something permanent. He could still sense her presence, her thoughts, her emotions, but now it was calm, steady like a river flowing smoothly. He realized that their connection was not just about life and healing. It was about understanding, trust, and shared existence. "You saved me," Lariah said softly, her hand still holding his. "More than life. You saved my soul." He shook his head gently. "No, you saved mine too. All these years I felt something was missing. Now I understand. It was you." They stood together in silence for a long moment, feeling the bond between them settle. The stars outside twinkled, and the quiet of Arethus felt peaceful for the first time. Ethan realized that nothing would ever be the same. He could not imagine life without her, and now he would never have to. Days passed, and Lariah slowly regained her strength. The colony watched in awe as the once disabled princess moved with grace and poise, her cybernetics gone, replaced by strength and vitality. People whispered about the miracle, but Ethan and Lariah paid little attention. They spent time together, exploring the observatory, talking about everything and nothing, and learning to live with the bond fully awakened. Ethan discovered that he could feel her emotions, hear her thoughts faintly, and even sense when she was in danger. Lariah learned that she could draw strength from him, heal minor injuries, and move with agility she had not felt in years. Together they became stronger, not just physically but emotionally. One night, as they stood under the stars, Lariah turned to him. "Ethan, the bond we share, it's more than life. It's destiny. We were meant to find each other even across time and space." Ethan nodded, taking her hand. "I don't care about destiny. I just know that I don't want to be apart from you." She smiled, silver eyes shining with emotion. "Then we stay together, no matter what comes." The bond pulsed gently between them, a living reminder of the night they were reunited and the power they shared. They were no longer just a human and a Valorian princess. They were partners bound by life, trust, and something stronger than either could fully understand. And as they watched the stars, Ethan realized that he had finally found what had been missing in his life all along. Not just the memories or the connection, but hope, purpose, and love. A love that had survived war, distance, and years of uncertainty, and now shone brighter than any star in the sky. The future was uncertain, and challenges would come. But together they could face anything. The bond between human and Valorian was alive, powerful, and unbreakable. And under the quiet night sky of Arethus, Ethan and Lariah stood hand in hand, ready to embrace the life they had fought to reclaim, together.